Hey, what is up, guys? Welcome back. This week, got to hang out with a buddy who let me know that, he was just tired of hearing people refer to Chaz as a auto-anonymous zone. So, from this point forward, we are only calling it an auto-anonymous zone. I don't think we'll be talking about it much longer, but we're going to go ahead and we're going to mess with my buddy a little bit. So let's talk about it, guys. Chaz, the auto-anonymous zone. What does that mean? It means all their cars are anonymous. What's going on with Chaz? Chop, whatever they want to call it. It's pretty funny. A little bit after my video, I did a video talking about how these people seceded from the U.S. They said they're no longer a part of the U.S. That makes them a foreign entity, essentially, which makes them very invadable. It makes them an invader, which allows the American government to then treat them as an invader and protect themselves, re-invade them, right? A couple days after that, they had changed their name to Chop. It was pretty funny. Shelby was joking around that, well, they must have been watching your video. Someone gave them the same advice and saw it the same way I did. So someone gave them advice to make it very clear that they are just a protest going on, and they are still a part of America. So it was a little ironic. Good timing as well. But what is going on with this place? What is going on with Chaz? We're going to call it Chaz because I don't like Chop. Dead bodies, guys. People getting shot. People getting shot. So if you don't know, someone had gotten shot, right, when no law enforcement around, you are required to be a good citizen, right? You are required to be a good neighbor. And we know that in society today, there are people who don't care about being good neighbors. They don't care about being good citizens. They will take by force if necessary. So what happened was, in this place of law enforcementlessness, a week into it, someone gets shot. Right? Why wouldn't you shoot someone when the cops aren't going to take you to jail, right? There's no consequences to your actions. Why would you follow any sort of a moral code? You wouldn't. Why would you, right? You'd have to be a moral person to maintain a moral code. In an immoral place, you don't have morals. You have no moral code. Anyway, someone gets shot, and the law enforcement is now to blame for it, right? The people, one of the guys who got shot, I think one of them died. Oh, there was multiple shootings, right? But one of the first one, the law enforcement, the first responders, they were the ones to blame. They got blamed for not coming in and saving the guy, attending to the guy, giving him that first responder treatment that you get in America because you're part of the system of America. Your tax paying money goes to that kind of stuff, right? Those sorts of perks of being an American in a civilized society. So it's pretty funny. You want your auto-anonymous zone. You want to be left alone. You want to do things your own way, but then you rely on the system outside. Then you blame it for the culture you've created, right? And it's a culture issue that we're talking about. It's the culture that we create. It's the culture in which someone decided it is acceptable if the cops aren't around to pull out your gun and go ahead and shoot someone, for whatever reason. I don't even know what the situation was, guys. I'm so done listening to the ins and the outs of Chaz. I don't care. I don't think anyone expected it to do well. I don't think anyone expected it to last. I don't think anyone was sitting there saying, like, this is a forever deal. I think we were all sitting here watching and waiting for it to just burn down. From what I gather, at least in the comments from you animals, who watch this channel. So it looks like it's burning down. Figuratively, not literally. What happened, right? Another shooting took place. Unconfirmed reports of possibly some other murders. Being responsible, or Chaz being responsible for some other missing people, potential violence that is going to need to be investigated. But at least two shootings in the place, right? Law enforcementlessness led to 2 shootings in like a week. And so now it's time to tear it down. On top of that, the people in the surrounding area who the media kept saying, and the people inside kept saying that everyone around here supports this. Everyone supports this. There's a lawsuit filed against Seattle from the it's a class action lawsuit, which means there's multiple parties. Class action lawsuit filed because this auto-anonymous zone was allowed to be set up. It was allowed by the government, supported by the government, both the governor's office as well as the mayor of Seattle, but it was supported in lieu of these businesses and the negative effect that it had on them. So now these business owners are saying, well, we want to be made whole. And because you allowed this and the damage that it caused and the atmosphere that it caused, because guess what? People weren't going in and out of that place anymore. Nobody's walking into an occupied zone like it's Disneyland. They're not going to do it. They did what we did. They stayed back and watched and waited for it to burn down. So that affects business negatively. And we're seeing a lot of that in the country. We're seeing a ton of government, not always the left, because we've got one in office here in the governor's office who is negatively affecting his people as well. But it seems as though it happens to be a plan from the left to drive down the economy, to put the country in a state of panic, to try and influence the outcome of the elections in November. Why? Because you're desperate. Why? Because the horse you picked is Joe Biden. And Joe Biden is a pervert. This dude's weird. When you can go on to the internet and find video after video after video of a candidate running for president who is constantly sniffing people, grabbing people, groping people, there's a lot more of that going on than what we see. And if we can see highlight reel after highlight reel of that stuff, there's more in the closet. You guys know what I'm talking about, right? And this is their horse. This is who they picked. This is the guy they're going to run against, Donald Trump. That was their master plan. So plan B, part of plan A, more planning of what they're planning, the plan on top of the plan, is to spiral the country into chaos. Support those who are spiraling the country into chaos. Watch these people pull down statue after statue, set up auto-anonymous zones. That's who they're supporting, to support the chaos, to try and win an election. That doesn't seem like a strategy to me. That seems like a lack of strategy. That seems like a really bad idea to put boots on people's necks, and then once you take the boot off, say, hey, vote for us because we took the boot off. We remember who put the boot on, right? You remember who put the boot on. You wouldn't vote that person then into office. You wouldn't vote that party then into office. It is insane what is happening to our country. It is exciting to watch. It is exciting times to be a part of history. I'm sitting in a truck right now just sweating because I didn't want the engine rumble to mess up the video, and it must be 90 degrees in here. But we get to see it. We get to continue, guys. It is amazing. There's a story everywhere. There is an event everywhere. There is something going on everywhere. Even on these towns, like BLM continues to protest here in Coeur d'Alene. Patriots continue to march in the streets, march downtown in the streets, watching this stuff going on. Like, it's constant. There's people standing on the corners with BLM signs almost every single day. There's guys taking their guns and their buddies downtown to make sure things don't pop off in our town. Every night since all of the videos I have shared with you guys of us down in Coeur d'Alene, that I will remind you went worldwide. I have been approached by people who have let me know they have people overseas who saw those videos, who recognized people in those videos, who recognized the town in those videos, and they're reaching out and saying, hey, we saw it over here. The example that Coeur d'Alene set has gone worldwide, right? It is insane what is taking place, but it is continuing. It is not getting better. It is getting worse. It is going to get worse. It is a roller coaster, but it is continuing to climb, right? We're going to peak. There's going to be a point where we hit the peak and then we fall, and then we go for the big plunge, the big ride, and then we see where we land and level off, right? So keep that in mind, guys. Stay alert. Keep watching. Keep watching everything. Definitely keep watching this channel, but keep watching everything. Keep your eye on everything. All of these situations, every statue that gets pulled down, every rally that gets that you go to, every demonstration, every protest, every blocking of an interstate, every interaction with a cop, all of this stuff, every single one of them is a potential flashpoint. Every single one of them. One guy gets kneeled on, right? Killed by police, allegedly, right? Maybe, whatever your theory is on it, right? And our entire country goes into complete pandemonium, which means that can continue to happen again, right? As the threats are coming out, as the bravado's coming out from the other side, as people start to get this false confidence in the fact that they think because they're protesting and marching in the streets that somehow that gives them some sort of power to win a war. I don't know if you guys are seeing it. We'll save it for another day. That's a topic for another day. Hit the subscribe button. We'll catch you on the next one.